Alright, hello guys, welcome back. Today is March 22, Sunday, um, new week, new opportunity, new chances to learn from our mistakes and try and do better. But yeah, it's just essentially a quick game plan for the week. And yeah, you can see I already have this week trade open right here, and we do have this huge gap here. So I'm gonna give it space to go up to it, but even if it does go up to it and it still moves higher, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, these right here are equal highs themselves, so we'll see how it plays out. But yeah, I would definitely start to trim something off here for now. But I'm gonna clear my chart, and I am going to hide these so they're not distracting. But essentially, last week we finally got the bearishness all the way down to this low, and we ended up closing below this low and kind of putting a body through it. I wouldn't be surprised if Monday um, we stay kind of range bound and then create a FVG. Then we trade up into it and see what we want to do from there. But yeah, this is like the first time that we're coming down to the slope since March 9th. And also, um, I I think it's pretty interesting to point out that this is the first time since the war has started where um, the week starts off with no optimistic news about the war ending. Last week there were rumors of a ceasefire. The week before, same thing. And then midweek, news comes out that makes it very clear that we're not heading towards a ceasefire. That's what happened. But this week, I don't see any news or any signs or optimism of the war ending, which is interesting because it also aligns with almost this break of structure. So, maybe we can just get that extreme bearishness right off the rip, and then later on in the week we see retracement higher. Maybe then some type of good news will come. I'm not too sure. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, essentially my plan is to wait and see what it wants to do tomorrow. And if this FEG is created, a trade up into it with overlapping bearish order block would be good to frame some shorts off of. And then we also have equal lows down here, something to watch out for. And you know, I think the slope is going to be very important because this is that stop run that was responsible for this entire move higher. So I think this is a very interesting level to look out for. Rejection block, equal lows, and also um, bullish order block or propulsion block even. So I'll be definitely watching out for these three levels as we come down into them. Um, and I'll have a lot more information of what we may want to do as the week progresses, especially tomorrow. Give it like a day of trading, and then we'll come back and see what it may want to do. And then yeah, looking at the dollar, I'm gonna remove these as well. And took out these relative equal highs, moved back down into the range, found support off of this right here. Um, Moved higher, then moved lower, found support again, and then traded up into this bearish order block right here. I wonder if that's no, not, but yeah, traded into this bearish order block, and then from there, kind of consolidated, found support, and then it moved lower. Or actually, no, sorry, it, traded up into it, and then it closed lower. Um, so now I'm just waiting to see what it may want to do. Essentially we are at equilibrium. If you look at it in this range right here, but I think we might be able to revisit it down to this gap with this low right here, and then from there maybe these relative equal lows with FVG if we break lower. Something like this, and then maybe even something like this, and then we'll watch to see if it wants to move higher, or if it wants to find support, or if it wants to come down in here and then move higher, or if it wants to continue moving lower and then repel off it moving lower. So that's what we're watching for now. Yeah, I don't really, not much else to look at right now. I don't think. Yeah, I mean, this is also a weekly gap right here as well, something to watch out for. And this is looking like, bearish structure, lower highs while moving lower. Yeah, so I like it. I like these lows too, these equal lows. Again, the ones responsible for right around here, responsible for that move higher. So watching out for maybe some type of reaction off of this order block and rejection block. And we'll see what happens. And then looking at ZB, very similar to NQ. We have this FEG right here. We have this gap right here. So just watching and see what it wants to do. Could move up to here, find lower, or could move up to here, find lower. Could just move here and then find lower. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, essentially that's my game plan for this week. I hope you found this insightful. Please take care, be safe.